Okay, folks, welcome to the first video recap that I've done so far for Bleeding Cool at All. I'm going to start actually with Twin Peaks with our most recent episode, Let's Rock. So I'm going to tell you how this works. So I'm going to cover some of the things that I thought were really important, that really stuck out to me. It's not going to be so much a review, though I will be giving my opinions, more kind of a recap. Second thing, I'm not going to lie, I have somewhere like down here on my computer, I've got the cast of characters made up just in case, kind of use as a cheat sheet. Also, if you're going to see me look off camera every now and then, it's going to be to make sure that I kind of rely on my notes here. So, again, much smoother as we roll along first time, but again, just wanted to make sure we try something a little different, keep you guys interested. So, again, looking at my notes, first thing we're going to talk about is my overall takeaway. My overall takeaway for this episode, I would have to say, is it's very interesting how we're starting to see modern time and reality creeping into Twin Peaks. I think that we're not just seeing the storylines start to merge with the characters we've got to know and love, but we're getting a better chance, I think, to see how modern times has started to creep in. A couple examples I've noticed, for example, again, that the Double R Diner. The Double R Diner now has what they call RR to go service. Ben Horn references about how they haven't used metal keys at the Great Northern in some time. Even Sarah Palmer references all the jerky selection in the back. Even when you look at Twin Peaks Sheriff Department, you see now how many people are working there and how computerized the system has become. So I think it's very interesting. You're starting to see how the old Twin Peaks is dealing with the new Twin Peaks, and how you're seeing the wave of young and youth pretty much filling the roles that were filled by the characters we've gotten to know. But what's interesting is, even as modern times are creeping in and they can't escape 2017 or the 2000s, what I find very interesting is that even though new and younger people are coming into play, as they said, it's happening again, and it does seem as if everything is starting to repeat itself. The idea of not just learning from the past, but learning and defeating the past to try to make the future a little better. So I think that was my overall takeaway. I think we're getting set up for a very interesting final 6 episodes coming up. Okay, again, apologize, going to my cheat sheet. What we got also, I would say, is some spare parts that I want to talk about. First, the Gordon Cole, Diane Albert dynamic. I think that's fascinating. First thing I want to say is Diane, I do not think, is in cahoots or working with Doppelkoop. I think she is way too smart to not know that Albert and Cole wouldn't be following up on her phone messages and what she's sending out. I think she is playing a game that may date back to whatever conversations she had with Coop when she last saw him, or some things she may have received since then. But I think she has her own agenda into play. I think deputizing her, I think, was a good move. I think the idea of keeping her close to keep her watching involved. The Let's Rock, that had me a little nervous, because I don't think Let's Rock is ever really a good thing when you hear it or see it in play. Like, again, like when it's sketched on the windshield of a car of an FBI agent who just disappeared. Character-wise, I gotta say, Bobby Briggs, I never thought I would say this, performance by Dana Ashbrook. I think Bobby Briggs is my favorite character of the season, the one I'm rooting for the most so far. The Mitchum brothers, I know this may be odd, I know this may be not the most popular thing to say, but I would have to say that, honestly, the Mitchum brothers, I think, for most of the season have really represented what we, the viewers, would be like, I think, sometimes in Lynch's Twin Peaks. This idea of, like, look, we know there's weird stuff going on, we don't have an answer to it, we're not going to tempt fate by not listening to it and see where things go. So, again, in a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about some other things that I think best represent the viewer, but I was very impressed with that, actually. FBI agent Tammy Preston, I got to tell you, I'm not completely sold on her as I'm seeing her in the show as a powerful agent or somebody special, like I get a sense from Mark Frost's book. I have a much better opinion of her from the book than I have from the TV series, but again, it's still early. But I will say the interrogation scene she had with Bill Hastings I thought was pretty good. Blue Rose, I am really glad now that we have the direct connection between Project Blue Book and the work that's been done with the government, both allegedly an urban legend as well as what's factually on record. So I'm really glad they went with that connection. Richie Horn's parents. It's interesting because I see that again, and a lot of people have referenced this idea that the grandparents get a lot of the blame. And Ben Horn references about how he didn't never Richie never really had a father influence around. And I'm wondering because I'm seeing online that there is this theory going around that Richie is Audrey's son, and that's somehow also the son of Doppelkoop. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what my feelings are on that. I mean, I'm assuming it would have to be Audrey's kid, but fatherhood, parentage, things like that. That I'm not completely sold on. Carl, Harry Dean Stanton. Again, the Carl we saw in Firewalk with Me, I thought was just an angry, crotchety old man. What's been done with that character, both in Mark Frost's book as well as what Stanton really has been bringing to this performance this season, especially this episode, where you really got to see Carl as a man who just, it's his trailer park. These are his people. There's a love and a care that he has for them, and I think it was very sweet and very touching. And I think again, it's to see Stanton's performance and still being able to put performances like that out there, it's just amazing. Amazing for him to see. Amazing stuff. Dr. Jacoby as an Alex Jones type does not surprise me in any way, shape, or form, nor does it surprise me that Nadine is an acolyte. I'm just curious to see where that's going to go at some point, or if that's just kind of a side storyline. It just doesn't feel like it's not. It doesn't feel like it's something that's not going to be in play later on. The final couple things I want to talk about again, as I said before, with the fans. Two instances where I thought the fans were spoken for on behalf in this episode. One, the situation when Albert was waiting on Cole and Cole's French, I guess, hotel room mate to leave. I agree with some people have been saying. I think it's Lynch's way through Cole of saying to Albert, the viewer, hey, everybody relax, chill, enjoy, have a good time, stop stressing, stop straining about answers and things like that. I personally represent more like with Albert, who's standing there kind of glaring like, okay, can she go because I have business to talk to? We need to get to the bottom of some things. But that's just me. Second part I have to say is the conversation that we had with Audrey. And again, I want to preface by saying the introduction to Audrey I thought was very odd and very strange. Her references to people, especially in particular this reference to Billy, her husband Chris, it's very odd and it's very strange when you consider when last we heard she was dealing with the repercussions from the explosion that she'd been in a coma for some time. I'm wondering if she's even aware of the time where she's at and who specifically she is. So that kind of threw me a little bit. But even having said that, towards the end of the conversation, when her husband is having that phone call to get information, and he gets off the phone and is just looking at her, and she refuses, and he doesn't give her any information, and she utters the line, you're not going to tell me what she said. You're not going to tell me what she said," and was screaming. And in that moment, I really felt like, okay, you are every single one of us. Every single one of us at this point. We love it. We love what we're seeing. But damn it, just give us some answers. Okay, that's it. Sorry if I spoke fast. This is the first run. We're going to be doing this hopefully a little bit more with Preacher, and also possibly in some of the Mist and some of the other things that are coming up. But just wanted to give it a try. Wanted to introduce myself yet again. Again, this is going to be a work in progress. It's going to be something that I'm going to be working on. But thanks for taking the time to watch this. And last thing, let me know if you hear about when they make the announcement that David Lynch is going to screen a one long 18-hour version of this as one epic movie. I wouldn't even be surprised if Showtime even gave up a Sunday just to show it as a full day. And you know people will show up. Alamo Drafthouse, I don't know, I think I would do an 18-hour sleepover to watch this in its entirety. I think it'd be interesting. Okay, that's it, folks. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy the rest of the season. I'll be seeing you on Bleeding Cool very soon. Check out my information down below. Feel free to message me through Instagram and through Twitter and through Facebook, and I will be seeing and talking to you guys soon. Thanks.